you recommend vitamin C for Indian skin and what percentage and what format?
Vitamin C is not the most prescribed ingredient in my prescriptions.
Why are so many men getting acne from all ages now?
There was a point where the percentage in the clinic was about 18 to 19% men and the rest women, and now it has grown to.
So do you have like a lot of patients who come in and argue with you because they've learned something on ChatGPT?
Oh yeah, always. They come with big bags with all the products that they're using. There are times where I throw those tubes in the dustbin in front of them saying these are steroids.
Retinol is very confusing. What do you recommend as the form that they should start with and how should they make their routine?
I would say something that deeply hurts me or any dermatologist is there are a set of people who bash retinol for the personal gains.
And last one, which is the most controversial. Can we tan with an SPF 50? Hi everyone, welcome to Sugar Coated and yet another episode where we deep dive into beauty, skincare and speak to the inspiring people driving the industry forward. And today I have someone who I meet literally every day. What I mean is that I don't think there's a single day where I don't go and see what's the latest content piece she's put out on Instagram because she reminds me of my calculus teacher. इतने complex subjects को इतना simplify करके and कभी-कभी जब वो डांटती हैं किसी को कि तुमने ये क्यों खुद से try किया without consulting a doctor, तो I always feel like she's speaking to me. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Priyanka Reddy. Of course, she's an MBBS, MD in dermatology, is a founder, runs her own DNA clinic based in Bangalore. I love her for, of course, the way she's spending all the time and effort in educating us about very complex topics. But even more than that, I feel that she's somebody who's extremely hardworking. Unke posts pe comments mein she goes and replies herself. At the same time, she runs 3 channels while also consulting patients. And last night she came to Mumbai at 1:30 after doing consultations all day. And at 10:30 sharp, she was here for the podcast. I find that very, very inspiring. And secondly, I think, Doctor, you've been able to combine education with entertainment. And I think that's why people can connect so well with you. Entrepreneurship is choosing the tougher option than the easier one that was available. So what does it take for a doctor to choose to be an entrepreneur?
It's not easy for me. Maybe working in an organization would have been slightly difficult given my personality. So I enjoy doing these things on my own terms. So I don't see that as a difficulty. I enjoy it because see, I think whenever you enjoy something, you don't feel it's very difficult and you wouldn't want to have it any other way. But what helps or what it takes, if you ask me, for me, what works is to just show up. The consistency. I talk about consistency a lot. I think that's the most used buzzword for me. If you look at my page also, it's consistency. Anything, even if it's your skincare, it could be your exercise, it could be anything that you're doing. It's about being consistent. It's the utter grit that you have to like show up even when things are not working for you, right? When we start a clinic, it's not that, okay, you open the doors and the patients will come, but you still show up every single day for that amount of time. You can do something else. When you're in your workplace and you show up, something will happen. Something will come your way. You'll do something more. But if you're like, okay, aaj patients nahi hai, so let me sit at home. It's not going to work that way. You show up. It's the self-discipline. There would be so many nagging voices in your head to tell you, don't do this. For example, if you want to go to gym, oh no, yaar, let me just lie down today. Let me just relax. Let me just eat that one eat that one nice cupcake. It is very tempting to give into these nagging voices, but it takes a lot of grit to overcome that nagging voices in your own head and to be disciplined, to push you to go to gym, to push that temptations away is going to take the discipline. Procrastination, on the contrary, kal kar lenge. Kya ho jayega? Let's do it later. Is self-destructive and that is what is going to kill the self-esteem also. So be action-oriented. It could be as simple things. It falls in your skincare, your business, your exercise, your relationships, being consistent, being disciplined about anything, even with your children, have a routine, be disciplined. I think the discipline is what will differentiate you from others.
So when it comes to skincare or entrepreneurship or just life, intensity is highly overrated.
Oh, yes.
And consistency is what you need to actually make an impact.
Who wins the race towards the end?
It's the tortoise.
it's the consistent. It could be slow, it could be steady, but it's that consistency that will make you win the race and that keeps you going. So be self-disciplined, be consistent, have that grit. Don't be boggled down by small failures that will come. It is bound to come your way. You are a very big example yourself sitting right here. You've seen a lot of struggles and failures before sugar became what it is today.
And आपको लगता है कि दूसरे doctors and the entire community sometimes judges you for the choice that you make to put yourself out there, that
All the time. And I think it's not just for us, right? You do anything, कुछ ना कुछ तो लोग कहते रहेंगे, उनका काम है कहना. So even if I'm not on social media, probably if I'm growing in a different direction, there are people who will still point
Criticize.
fingers at you and criticize. And I think you of all people must be knowing this, that. And a lot of times when I discuss this with my other doctors and friends, "Arey yaar, this is happening, this seeing this," they said, the journey, and when you're on top, you're always alone. So sometimes we have to take that criticism with a pinch of salt. And I think for us, the moral compass should be straight. As long as we are aligned with our ethics and we know what we are doing, what is our bigger vision, I think the noise you should just cut off the noise and you do what's right for you, your ethics, your family, your company, the people who are working for you and with you. I think that's all I look at. People will criticize. No matter what we do, people will criticize. But we have to just stick to what we truly believe in.
I want to jump into skincare product. I have been in beauty industry abhi 14 saal ho gaye, and I've seen that whole journey. Like there was a phase where everybody just wanted like chemical free, toxin free, everything free products. And then of course this whole wave of science, and I really believe the next wave will probably be treatments. So let's start with the most popular one. The most Google searched ingredient is actually still vitamin C. इतने साल हो गए, and I know that in India, while we say कि अब हम सिर्फ even skin tone के लिए लगा रहे हैं, कहीं back of our minds there is the whole angle of brightening, whitening.
Yes.
So
It's still
do
there.
you recommend vitamin C for Indian skin, and what percentage and what format?
Okay, so I might get a lot of flake for this. Vitamin C is not the most prescribed ingredient in my prescriptions. Really, it's one of the
Very
least
surprising.
prescribed ingredient in my prescriptions. Not that it's not good, but it's not for everyone. It's not formulated equal. So there are certain actives that I would tell the viewers to not try it by themselves until you become you go to a certain level where you understand your skin very well, where you're in tune with your skin. All right, do not try vitamin C, retinol, retinoids on your own until you master your own skin. So that is vitamin C. So why is it not for everyone? Because it's a very unstable molecule. The formulation has to be really tight, and otherwise it can actually worsen the problems, the very problem that you're going to treat, right? It can cause pigmentation, it can cause irritation, and cause acne breakouts as well. So it's not an ingredient for someone who has skin sensitivity or very oily acne prone skin. We first reduce the acne, we treat the excess oiliness, and then probably add the vitamin C for the antioxidant benefit it has to offer. Otherwise, there are so many amazing ingredients that are better off for your skin.
And अगर मान लो मुझे आई एम डिटर्मिन्ड कि मुझे विटामिन सी लगाना ही है, बिकॉज सब लोग लगा रहे हैं एट स्कूल, तो विच इज द कंपाउंड दैट इज एक्चुअली द लीस्ट रिस्की, कि अनस्टेबल नहीं होगा and it won't make my skin worse?
So the most commonly used form of vitamin C is your L-ascorbic acid. That's a gold standard molecule. It's very effective but highly unstable. So now there are other forms of vitamin C that we tend to use, but whichever form you're using, the safe percentages are from 5 to 20. And you have to slowly and gradually progress with these percentages, right? And then you have magnesium ascorbyl glucoside, which is also a safer, stable molecule, but it's very slow acting. It's not going to give you results like your L-ascorbic. It's very slow, but it is very safe. It's not going to trigger any irritation. Then you have ascorbyl glucoside, and then there's sodium ascorbyl glucoside also that can help, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, that is good for acne prone skin because it is very stable, non-irritant. So these are all some of the safest forms of vitamin C. But also with vitamin C, you have to it's better you combine it with ferulic acid and vitamin E, because it's going to improve the potency of this vitamin C and also make it more stable formulation. So overall, it's just going to be a good concoction to use that will boost the antioxidant benefits and also reduce the irritation. So that's the vitamin C. Now, as we spoke about ingredient dusting, it's we call it as ingredient dusting or star dusting, wherein every ingredient in skincare has a moment. It's celebrated for that phase. I think vitamin C, like you rightly said, Vinita, is one of the most celebrated ingredient for the longest time, and I think it will still continue to hold that spot. But if you have vitamin C less than 5%, it's really not going to do anything to your skin. And if you have it beyond 20, it's going to really irritate your skin. And it also, so formulations are very underestimated, right? A slight change in the pH can change the entire formulation. So this is something that nobody can understand until you're a formulator yourself. So that is why I say do not risk it with vitamin C at all. But if you still want to go ahead and do it, you look for vitamin C, ascorbyl glucoside, in the percentages of 5 to 20. You start off with 5 and then gradually progress to 10, 15 and 20 eventually.
Got it. So मतलब 5 पे test करके फिर 10, 15, 20 and अगर the product genuinely has 5% and अगर उसके ऊपर लिखा नहीं है तो turn around करके ingredients list में it should be in the first 2-3 ingredients. अगर right में end में है तो पक्का like you said star dusting.
Yeah. So the thing is there is always a front story to the bottle, but a back
marketing.
Reality. Right? So the back reality is what matters. So if an ingredient is there in the bottommost list, it means it's just there for the SEO. Or to attract the customers. It's doing really nothing in that bottle. So don't fall for the marketing gimmick.
Got it. And because you say that, it's very unstable, especially L-ascorbic acid. So is it that हमें even if shelf life 12 months है, हमें 6 महीने में change करना चाहिए, or do you think that we can actually make it work for the 12 months?
If you store it well, if you're not, so whenever, that's why I like the pump models of vitamin C rather than the bottles with that serum pipettes and droppers.
And dark bottles?
Darker bottles, again to prevent the sun exposure, that's to limit the sun damage. And you store it always in cool places, away from the sunlight, and opt for airless pump. Because it's not just sun, it's also the air that can cause oxidation. So you look for airless pump and store it in a safe place. Unfortunately, still a lot of products come in dropper formulation because I think it's economically more easier to make. So let the serum not get exposed to sun or air. That's as simple as that. But you see how the product was originally, right? There is certain color to it, and maybe if it has certain fragrance to it, there's a texture to it. If it changes over a period of time, that's also a sign that the product is not effective anymore, or it can irritate your skin because the composition or the structure has changed. So the vitamin C can turn dark brown, orange shades, can get slightly, the texture में थोड़ा सा दाना जैसा होने लगता है, so that can also indicate that the product is rendered ineffective. So look for the changes also and try to finish the serums. That's why when you buy a lot of products is again a challenge because you cannot finish them on time once you open. There is something called as expiry date, but there's also shelf life, right? So when you buy a bottle, when you don't open it, you see the expiry date and you can use it for that period of time. But once you open it, there is a period after opening, and you can see that the lid is open or it's written as shelf life on that, and then it is 3 months, 6 months usually. So try to finish it before that, especially for actives.
Isme the challenge is that India mein the FDA only requires you to put shelf life, which is expiry date.
Yeah.
Outside India, if you look at Europe, US, the US FDA requires you to put period after opening only and not shelf life.
Okay.
So India में जितने products बनते हैं, most cases में उसपे सिर्फ shelf life लिखी होती है, but something like vitamin C or even mascara for the makeup category, it's not enough because it's, हो सकता है shelf life हमारी 3 years है. But the product, once it's opened, should be ideally used in 6 months. So then that the FDA leaves to the individual brands to figure that whether they want to add that extra information. But you are saying that generally period after opening, vitamin C का हमें 6 months के अंदर रखना चाहिए.
No. For vitamin C specifically, even sooner. Even sooner. Okay. Because every time, especially if you're taking the dropper, even sooner. I think just finish it off in like less than 3 months. Because if you're using it, and vitamin C is an ingredient that you use every day. There are certain ingredients you use once a week, for example, exfoliants or a retinoid. You use it only once a week or once in 10 days. So then you will not be able to complete it in such short period of time. But vitamin C as a product, you use it almost every day or maybe alternate days, depending on the percentage. So you will be able to finish it quickly if you are very, if you have a good skincare routine in place. So you will be able to finish the product in 2 or 3 months maximum, again, depending on the size of the bottle.
Okay, cool. And then, of course, coming to the more potent ingredient that you just mentioned, जिसके बारे में I think India में अभी एक latest wave आ रहा है, which is retinol. And now people have started using retinol, I think, starting 20s.
Yeah.
So what is, and retinol is very confusing because there's retinol, retinoid,
Yeah.
retinaldehyde, and then of course the whole isotetroin and all of those,
Yeah.
really
Super
only
potent.
prescription
Yeah.
potent forms of it. So what do you recommend retinol ka percentages? And I think this is something where it's a fraction which is more than enough, and there are a lot of risks associated.
Before all of that, I would say something that deeply hurts me or any dermatologist is there are a set of people who bash retinol for the personal gains again. So that's very, very disturbing to watch. See, I'm all in for the brands to grow, personal growth, all of that. Yay, come on, do it. But don't bash something that is scientifically proven, that has changed the way treatments of the conditions are treated by us dermatologists. And I would say a life-changing molecule is retinol or retinoid, right? And people go about talking, saying that retinol is bad, retinol causes cancer, retinol does this, retinol does it. Don't do that. Instead, use our plant-based bakuchiol.
Okay.
Use this, use that. That's
That's greenwashing.
absolutely fear-mongering, and it's not right. Nobody should cause unnecessary fear mongering. And as a dermatologist, I will speak about it, because we are, as practitioners, like I said, we know what retinol or retinol can do to our practice and the kind of concerns it can treat. And then when people go about in public platforms with wide reach, say that this is not right, then people are going to trust them
Panic.
because are going to panic, and they're coming and questioning us. So it's become that now.
Yeah, and actually the C word is abhi koi bhi cheez ke saath C word,
कोई भी
except for
चीज़,
water, H2O. I think you take any compound, there will be some article somewhere
Yeah.
saying इससे cancer होता है, and
हाँ.
actually cancer बढ़ रहा है, तो people are panicking.
And there are a lot of reasons for that, right? And now the other buzzword is endocrine disruptors. बोलो अभी endocrine disruptors क्या होता है यार? Endocrine disruption, what are you trying to imply? So please don't use certain terms so frivolously and cause unnecessary panic in public. Okay, now to the actual question. Now retinols are slightly lesser potent molecules as compared to retinoids, which are strictly prescription strength, are very powerful. Like you said, even like the slightest quantity, small percentages will help. So these are products that can help you age gracefully because they help in tackling fine lines and wrinkles by boosting collagen, stimulating the skin cell rejuvenations. They can also treat, now even 20 years old, we prescribe retinoids, the most powerful ones, to even like 18, 16 years old or 20 years old if there is a need for it, right? Because if a skin has matured enough to develop acne, it is also matured enough to receive certain treatments to control that acne, right? So when there is when your skin matures, when you hit puberty, the oil glands are stimulated to produce certain levels of sebum. And if you're genetically prone to have acne, they produce more sebum. There is bacterial overgrowth, there's dead skin cells that clogging your skin. So we need to address all of this inflammation. So retinoids are multitasking ingredients that can treat all these concerns and help you address and help us address your acne, make your skin more healthy. Looks का तो छोड़ो यार, पहले health का देख लो. When there's a lot of inflammation, acne sitting, it is so painful. We have teenagers and adults also crying and coming to our clinics about their acne. It is not as superficial or vanity driven. It is also a lot of emotional, it disturbs them emotionally, it kills their confidence. And imagine in 1.5 months with certain ingredients, we're able to treat the acne, give them back their confidence in a safest method. And you're bashing that ingredient. It's not right. So please talk scientific data. Don't cause unnecessary fear mongering. Now, what percentages? Very less, right? We talk about 0.025% of retinoid is what that can help treat acne, and going up to 1%, nothing more than that you should be using at home. So we go to as low as 0.01 to 0.1. That's the usual percentage we play with. So we have retinoids in 0.025, 0.04, and then we keep gradually increasing the percentage, or we increase the frequency. This is how we do it. And we are also supposed, so retinol on the other hand is slightly milder. It is also available over the counter. People can go buy it and harm their skin if they don't know how to use it. So when you're a beginner, again, retinol or retinoid or retinaldehyde, whichever form it is in, they're all potent. One is more potent than the other, but these are not for self-medication. Unfortunately, because of poor regulations, we have these medications available over the counter. I really wish certain ingredients should be banned from OTC. One such ingredient is a retinoid.
So retinoid should be banned, but retinol is okay because retinol is not
in lower
as
it's not as
potent.
but it can, it can cause perioral pigmentation. It can cause cracking up your corners of your mouth, around your nose, if you don't use it properly. So for the beginners, we say when you're using these ingredients, don't go close to your eyes, close to the nose, or wherever there is wrinkling and especially the corners. The product can settle, irritate it through the night, and cause a little bit of dryness, and then eventually leading up to cracks. So though retinols and retinoids are very important in our skincare, which we cannot live without as dermatologists, we love, it's holy grail of anti-aging, right? But we also tread it with caution. Do I use retinol every day? No. Do I use it in excess quantity? No. Do I apply a good moisturizer after using a retinoid? Yes. Do I protect my skin the next day with sunscreen? Hell yes. So there is a way in which we need to use every ingredient, and you get the best results out of it. So I would say retinol is still over the counter available. It's okay only when you know the basics of your skincare. Otherwise, don't.
And for retinoid, do you recommend कि sandwich कि पहले moisturizer फिर retinoid फिर moisturizer, or you generally just top it up?
Retinoid के लिए तो 100% we tell them do a sandwich, put a very lightweight moisturizer, let it sink in a little bit, and then apply your retinoid, let it sink in. Just before you go to sleep, coat it up with another layer of moisturizer. That way you're rest assured that your retinoid is working in your favor and not against. We do that, but for retinol nowadays, it's all like serum-based formulations you get, so it doesn't really make sense for retinol so much.
Actually, I learned something new today because I have had a lot of hormonal acne growing up, and हमेशा benzoyl peroxide पहले और अब salicylic acid. In fact, I was always told that acne में मत लगाओ because retinol can be risky. So I think for me this is actually something new, that for acne treatment you've been using retinol.
No, salicylic acid is my favorite ingredient for oily acne prone skin. There's no debating that. Benzoyl peroxide also helps the inflammatory acne. Again, if you want to cook a good dish, it's never that one hero ingredient, right? It's always a combination of all the ingredients in the right proportions, layered in the right way also. If you want to make a biryani, you can't just put everything together, right? You need to layer it properly. You need all these amazing ingredients, put it at the right time at the right quantity. So if you have acne, yes, we will use salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, retinols, a good water-based moisturizer, again, a lightweight sunscreen. And sometimes we also add a little bit of azelaic acid in there, because that also has anti-inflammatory, pigmentation control properties. So it's all these things when comes together is when you get a good result. You use salicylic acid day after day after day, you're only going to disrupt your skin barrier. You need to protect it. You need to, safeguard your barrier while doing all of these things. So it is all these ingredients together that we use.
Yeah. And for hormonal acne, which are the ingredients that you recommend the most?
See, once the acne is out, it is what it is, right? Even if it is genetic or hormonal or triggered because of external pollutants blocking your pores, makeup clogging your pores, whatever it is, once an acne pops out, you have oil, you have inflammation, you have bacteria, you've clogged pores. So the treatment is pretty much the same. But plus, we also treat the underlying hormonal imbalance that is happening. Why do you have hormonal acne? It's usually PCOS when you have testosterone excess. That is what we are going to address. We are going to treat your hormonal acne either through your diet, to your exercises, or sometimes by giving you certain pills. But for acne per se, the treatment is going to still remain the same.
Other lifestyle treatment might be different, but
Yes,
topical treatment same.
Genetic acne, it's generally there's no lifestyle factor to it, so we don't stress so much about your diet or exercise or sedentary lifestyle, which is the biggest villain in the current times. We don't stress so much about all these things. However, they do definitely play a role. It's like adding fuel to the fire. The fire is already set because of your genetics, but your lifestyle is adding fuel to the fire. So that's what we will control if it's genetic. But here, the lifestyle becomes a bigger role when it is hormonal acne, which is unfortunately.
Are you seeing a shift here that, earlier, like 2 decades back, genetic acne ज़्यादा होता था, and अभी last 5-6 साल में काफ़ी ज़्यादा lifestyle driven acne हो रहा है, and at all ages from like 10 to probably now 60.
You'll not believe how the practice has shifted, Vineeta. I tell you, it has shifted like 180 degrees. When we sit before, we used to treat acne, it's mostly genetic acne. It's given that it was genetic acne, and then we treat it, and then, it's beautifully put under control. Now, it's given that this acne is because of PCOS. Patients just come, like 8 out of 10 girls who walk into the clinic, I'm not even exaggerating. They are having some level of hormonal disruption. Most of them are affected with PCOS, and it's just given now that to PCOS hai. It's become like that. Insulin resistance is the other biggest demon that we are facing.
But PCOS आपको लग नहीं रहा कि ओवर डायग्नोज सॉरी हो रहा है? हाँ,
हो रहा है. It is definitely getting overdiagnosed also sometimes, because there are girls who come and say, oh, I've been diagnosed with PCOS, but how? They have not gotten a scan, they've not done a full hormonal profiling, but still they come and say PCOS, because they have consulted some random person who they think is a doctor. They are not gynecologists or obstetricians. They are not general physicians. There are these people who are claiming to be doctors, and they're diagnosing them with PCOS. That is when someone says I have PCOS, we again do the entire profiling. It's a lifestyle disorder nowadays. It's not genetic. Sedentary lifestyle, stress, poor sleeping habits, poor dietary choices is the major culprit. Once this is reversed, you see that they're doing much better. The periods become more regular. Their skin glows. Their hair fall is under control. It's all with the lifestyle changes. Yeah.
And salicylic acid, since you mentioned, what percentage salicylic acid should I have in my face wash, and what percentage in my serums?
So as a home care, we get salicylic acid below 2% for at-home use. Anywhere between 0.5 to 2% is what is considered safe. Now again, depending on how oily or acne-prone your skin is, we tend to give you 1% or 2%.
And what about niacinamide? Like the magic ingredient which everybody wants in every single product, from makeup to skincare.
hai na? So it's like jack of all, master of none kind of an ingredient, right? So it does something, but it doesn't do one thing exactly. So it's there in everything. The percentages should be between 5 to 10 at least. Anything less than that is not effective. Anything more than that sometimes can trigger a little bit of irritation. So 5 to 10% is something that you should look out for niacinamide. Everybody can use it. It pairs very well with most ingredients. Thoda pH idhar udhar hua, to then there's a problem with niacinamide. But otherwise, it pairs very well with most ingredients. You can use it during the day, at night. It just helps with little bit of skin rejuvenation. Thoda sa dark spots pe, thoda sa uneven skin tone pe, kuch to karta hai, wo bas hai. Yeah.
Good. Just coming back to the acne topic. So I understand कि in girls अभी PCOS बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है. One of my gynecs had told me that pregnancy के बाद PCOS खत्म हो जाता है. Is that true? Do you see less? Or?
No, not really. Not really. No. There's no end to it as such. As long as your hormones are up and active and your lifestyle is not supporting the health of your hormones, you can always relapse even after one pregnancy or two pregnancies also. So no, not really.
And men के साथ क्या हो रहा है? Why are so many men getting acne from all ages now? 15-16 साल से 50 साल.
Men have a stronger inclination towards acne just because their skin is different from female skin, right? It's more thicker. The oil glands are more dense. So there's more oil. They have more oily acne-prone skin. In general, it has always been there. The problem with men, what's happening is other lifestyle disorders. They're losing their hair much faster. They're developing insulin resistance, acanthosis nigricans. That's both in men and women, but men all the more. They also have this patchy pigmentation around the sides of the face, under the eyes. All that is acanthosis nigricans, a sign of insulin resistance owing to the sedentary lifestyle or not taking care of the skin from early on. Like they play gully ka.
ये जो dark हो रहा है, इसके लिए first sign will be sugar reading being high or nahi?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not really, but mostly yes. There is definitely a hormonal disruption that is happening for sure, but also like just not taking care. Generally boys have lot more sun exposure, lot more unprotected sun exposure also. Cricket, a lot of outdoor time in general. At least before it was more. Now I think there are many women also going ahead sports and all of that, but before it was a thing. And also a lot more exposure on sun because of two-wheelers, not protecting their skin properly, not taking care of it. एक साबुन से सब कुछ हो जाता है उनका.
बाल से लेके
पाँव तक.
Boy.
Yeah. हाँ. No brand. तो बाल से so एक साबुन से हो जाता था at least. Now like men are also trying to work around the health of the skin. So it is the lifestyle, of course, sedentary lifestyle, unprotected cumulative damage because of unprotected sun exposure is causing that sort of pigmentation. But yeah, in men, I think this is what is happening. So people say, oh no, but my dad is not bald. But my dad went bald in 50s. So this is a big elephant in the room again, right? My grandmom didn't use it. Why are you promoting skincare? My grandmom didn't use it. My dad didn't have balding. Why are you asking us to use? Arey, if only I could prepare a good monologue for this. No, I think like this Karthik, I should prepare a monologue for this answer.
Go
and
for
ye lo. Prepare karke aana tha, nahi kiya. But I said, see, your grandmom had your grandmom was working, physical work, labor was a lot more as compared to us, where we're sitting on the desk job mostly. Your grandfather didn't have the kind of blue light exposure. Your grandparents were not scrolling through the screens throughout the night and tampering with their sleep. They had better sleep quality, better nutrition in their food. Their air was much more cleaner.
The ozone layer didn't have a big hole in it.
Ozone layer
I
was
think
protecting.
Sara UVA, UVB abhi impact bhi.
हाँ, ozone layer is getting impacted. So lot more, your sun is hitting you harder. Excess pollution, thanks to one vehicle per person we have at home. All of us are culprits to this deterioration in the environmental situation. The soil does not have nutrition, so enough. Everything is sucked out of the soil. The crops are being cultivated so frequently that the soil is not getting enough time to nourish itself. So आप क्या खा रहे हो? One apple in today's generation is not equal to the apple that our grandparents enjoyed. So what are you even comparing here? And also now, nobody is asking you to do a 10-step skincare routine or do everything that you see on internet, right? There is a difference between maintaining the health of your skin and the aesthetics of your skin. We are only asking you to maintain the health of your skin. Just use a good moisturizer, sunscreen, face wash, bas khatam ho gaya. But if you want to improve and work on the aesthetics of your skin, then you better put some work without complaining. That's all. Work on the health of your skin firstly, and then probably we can move on to the aesthetics. Yeah.
I think it's very similar to even for जैसे हेल्थ लोग बोलते हैं कि मेरे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स 90 साल तक जिए एंड वो तो मीठा खाते थे, अल्कोहल पीते थे, स्मोक करते थे, उनको कुछ नहीं हुआ, बट हाँ दे डिड नॉट हैव द एक्सपोजर टू द 100 other things that we now have, and of course our stress levels,
sleep, the quality of sleep. They followed circadian rhythm. They used to sleep off by 7:30. They didn't have as much, especially for women also now, we have a lot more stress because there's a lot of women in the workforce also, and we are juggling multiple tasks in a day. You're taking care of the home, your work, and a lot more stress, and it is somewhere also impacting your overall stress levels. Not enough emphasis is being given on the quality of sleep, the stress, which is becoming a silent killer. So all these are changing and causing free radical damage in your body. So there should be something to counter this free radical damage. I'm not saying skincare alone is the answer. I myself don't believe that one thing solves everything, right? Your diet, your sleep, most important is your sleep, your stress, your diet, your exercise, and then comes what you apply on top. So it is this whole thing that is important.
Okay, coming back to the ingredients, what about hyaluronic acid? Are you anti-hyaluronic acid or pro? Because it has the acid in the name.
Yeah, seriously. I think it is that a comedy villain who gets a lot of flake, because just because it has the word acid, it's a very...
उसका नाम खराब है, actually काम अच्छा है.
काम अच्छा है, नाम खराब है. इतना भी अच्छा नहीं कि जितना पोर्ट्रे किया जा रहा है, but it is good. It's not the master hydration ingredient. It is good. It does its job, but that alone again cannot help you get the glowing skin that you want. Definitely it adds to the moisture levels and hydrates your skin, but again, the right way of using hyaluronic acid is also important.
And does it disrupt pH? क्योंकि उसमें acid है कि नहीं?
No, not at all. No, nothing like that. Anything can disrupt your skin barrier if you're not using it the right way and if you're pairing it the wrong way. So sometimes hyaluronic acid also can slightly irritate the skin in some people if the formulation is not good, but otherwise it's a power ingredient. It's just there. It helps you skin hydrate, and even small percentages of hyaluronic acid is enough because it can hold up to 1,000 times the water of its own weight. So even a little bit of hyaluronic acid is enough. We apply it as superficially, like it's there in skincare products that we apply superficially, and then the next depth is something called as skin booster injections that we do, wherein you spread hyaluronic acid like a thin sheet of water under the skin. It keeps hydrating your skin for few months and just helps maintain the moisture levels of your skin. And then there are deeper hyaluronic acid formulations, which are the fillers, which we put on the bone or in deeper planes to enhance your contours. You want a nice the OG curve or the reverse Nike sign, you get it with fillers. You want a snatched jawline, you get it with fillers. So that is again hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is a wonderful molecule in our skincare, especially in terms of fillers and boosters. In your products, it definitely does good, but don't rely only on hyaluronic acid to do all the magic. It's definitely good and safe ingredient.
And in a skincare product, kitna percentage should I be looking for hyaluronic?
Even like 1%. if it's priced well, if the product is priced well.
Okay.
But even like 1 to 2% also can.
And should we only use it on wet skin, or you can use it on dry skin?
Yeah, so there are certain products that you must be applying on damp skin, not like fully wet skin. Then again, the product just melts off your face, right? On slightly damp skin, that's when your pores are more perceivable to the products for deeper penetration. So here is your hyaluronic acid. It could be your moisturizers, is what you apply on damp skin for better penetration. But then there are ingredients that you don't want to apply on damp skin. Exfoliant, salicylic acid, glycolic acid, for example. You don't want to apply it on damp skin. You gently dab it, let the skin dry up, and then you apply these acids. So yeah.
Got it. And what about like glycolic, lactic? Are they only to be used in exfoliation, or now that हमें आजकल serums में भी glycolic, lactic, mandelic acid आ रहा है, तो should we be using in serums as well, or only keep it for that 2 days a week exfoliation?
Yeah, so I would prefer in exfoliants, but again, now it is all moving towards multifunctional products. There is no, generally there are, now it's becoming very difficult to get product with just one ingredient. There is always, if you look at skin brightening in products, you have glycolic acid, you have a resorcinol, you have licorice. So there are ingredients that helps with brightening by acting on the melanin per se, but then there are ingredients that can help with exfoliation. So a product is doing multiple things. So I would still prefer having glycolic or salicylic acid in exfoliants. Now, exfoliants also are in two varieties. You have something that you just use with pads and then exfoliate and throw them. But you also have slow releasing exfoliants. Like you apply the exfoliant, leave it for a few hours, and then it does its just job slowly.
Which is also retinol actually at some level, right?
Yeah. It also does all of that. Very true.
So last night आपने कौन-कौन से ingredients use किए?
Last night, my skincare routine is very, very simple, honestly. So I washed my face because I was traveling, and in the flight also I had applied a little bit of moisturizer. So I washed my face and applied before in the flight itself, and then I came, just applied moisturizer again and slept. That's it. When I travel, I generally don't use any actives that can even remotely irritate your skin. But otherwise, for the night skincare, so I use a very gentle face wash at night, and then weekly, once or twice, I do retinol with peptide combination. They work beautifully well together. And then the rest of the days, I use something like an antioxidant serum. And then once a week or
So
once
antioxidant serum is like a vitamin C.
it a vitamin C. Yeah, mostly a vitamin C based formulation. But again, I'm not a huge fan of vitamin C for my own skin also because it tends to irritate it a little bit. Then we have, wait, let me think. Yeah, so all these combination products we have, right, that has a little bit of azelaic acid and arbutin. All of us still want that glowing, brightening effect, no matter what your skin type is. So thoda sa wo dal deti hu. And never ask a dermatologist what your skincare is. Really. Because it keeps changing. We have to try, owing to our profession, we have to try so many products on each day. It's never that one product. Today you see me using XYZ sunscreen, tomorrow I'm using something else. So it keeps
So your
changing.
own face is a chemical lab, chemistry
Oh
lab.
God, all the time. There's a little bit of PIH I developed because I did a treatment which didn't work very well, and then they stopped that machine here because it was creating a lot of problems.
All dermatologists recommend that you use some of these acids to really do the whole exfoliation, and it impacts your barrier. फिर उसके बाद हम peptide ceramides use करेंगे to rebuild the barrier or repair the barrier, and there's so much talk about it. Now the latest is कि barrier में microbiome है, तो you need prebiotic, postbiotic skincare to get the microbiome. So we need lots of bacteria now, apart from other things. I thought I was getting rid of bacteria for my acne, but now I have to put bacteria back in my skin to help with my barrier. So why are we breaking the barrier and then repairing it?
I will, if you don't mind, I'll give a small correction there.
Okay.
No dermatologist is trying to break your barrier. Nobody, because we know the importance of a healthy skin barrier, without which your skin is not going to be healthy. So every time we put a skincare routine, it's always to protect, nourish, rejuvenate your barrier, never ever to break it. When you use an exfoliant, you're not breaking a skin barrier. So okay, look at your skin barrier as it's a brick and mortar thing, right? So you have your brick, that is your skin cells or keratinocytes, and then you have the cementing substance between it, the lipids, cholesterol and fats. This is a healthy firewall that your skin is building.
Cholesterol, fats and collagen, right?
Collagen is much more deeper.
Okay.
So this is the firewall. Your skin is your barrier is your firewall against the pollutants, the sun damage, whatever the toxins that should not enter your skin. And then on this, you have these healthy commensals on your firewall. You have your bacteria, fungi, virus, living hormonally well amongst each other and having a very happy, peaceful.
So you should let them be.
You should let them be. Then what happens is you have a lot of toxins that come and get clogged in these pores because of external exposures. Internal toxins, the sweat, the oils that are trying to come out. And these somewhere get clogged because they're not able to freely move out because of the congestion. Imagine you're suffocating somebody with a pillow. You can't breathe, right? So your pollutants, your makeup that you've not probably removed, and full night you're sleeping with pillow cushioned over your face. So everything is not letting your skin breathe. Then what happens? The impacted toxins or thing is what we are trying to exfoliate, is what we are trying to take away. We are not trying to take away the healthy bacteria or this. And you will be able to balance this only when you know the right way to use the products. The problem is happening with over-exfoliation, over-usage of certain products is when you're doing it by yourself and not doing it in a regulated manner. That is when what's happening, you're stripping this firewall, you're going and scratching the wall repeatedly. So the healthy microbiome, the good guys are gone. And then there is a balance, and then there's a panic in the barrier. Now what's going to happen? The villains are going to enter because you've given a free will. The toxins can penetrate deeper. The sun can penetrate more deeper. It's going to break your collagen, elastin, make you age faster. It's going to create so much of free radical damage. So you're going to get more of uneven skin tone, sun damage signs, and all of this. And sometimes when you do a lot, so your skin is something that wants to be left alone. Doing a little bit, you cause friction to it. You cause a lot of rubbing. You know, if you keep rubbing your skin with whatever DIYs that you're trying to do, and if you have a lot of sun exposure, dust, heat exposure, a lot of steam, sauna, steaming is definitely going to trigger your melanocytes to produce more melanin. It is a defense mechanism. Your skin is threatened. It's like, Are babre, now I have to protect. My job is to protect this person that is relying on me. I'm the firewall. And then it gives this response. It takes up this responsibility to throw more melanin because melanin is protecting us. We are good because like Caucasians and Americans, we don't get burnt because of the melanin, but we also don't like the aesthetics of what our skin is doing to protect us. So now we are worried about melanin. So all this drama is happening because you are not treating your skin the right way. So protect your barrier. So look at your skincare as in terms of circadian rhythm, right? So during the daytime, what is the job? It is to protect, defense. So your sun protection, pollution, whatever you're trying to protect. And at the night, let it heal, let it repair, let it rejuvenate. That's all it is. Don't over-exfoliate. So when you exfoliate the right way, you're only trying to take away the dead skin cells that are blocking the skin and just letting your skin breathe. The pores are more cleaner, and the products that you apply after are going to penetrate deeper. So exfoliation is one of the most underrated steps in our skincare routine. You do it the right way, it's going to help you. You overdo it, it's going to do tamasha on your skin. So now, it's not going to be like, skincare is also, it's so fascinating to see what's going to happen in the next 10 years in skincare, honestly, with so much of AI changing the game for us. It's going to be more of like testing your microbiome, like how you're now testing your gut microbiome and deciding your diet and supplements accordingly. It's going to be the same thing for skin, is what I can see happening, right? You'll have tools that can determine your skin's microbiome, what's good, what's not good, what's going wrong. And then you have skincare, like a probiotic cream that's going to come into the picture that can help maintain the healthy microbiome of your skin. I think that's the future of skincare that at least I think is going to happen. So microbiome is your real hero. Protect it, nourish it, let your skin repair, and you are going to have a healthy, glowing skin. It's not so complicated.
And this benzoyl peroxide and all, which you use to kill the bacteria in acne, that doesn't kill the microbiome bacteria.
They are very specific. Every antibiotic that you use is specific and targets a certain microorganism. It's not generic.
So the good bacteria are left alone, and the
by and large
bad bacteria are killed by
which is why we tell you not even to overuse. See, benzoyl peroxide is a very high irritant if you use the wrong way. It's not as silent and power ingredient. It will irritate your skin. So a lot of times these ingredients are spot treatments. So we have adapalene, benzoyl peroxides are very potent ingredients, though you read it as 2.5% benzoyl peroxide. Only 2.5%. Babri, 2.5%. Think of it like that. It is. So you have to apply it only on your acne. Sometimes when you have a lot of acne all over, then we ask you to apply it everywhere. But most of the times these ingredients are spot treatments. I see so many patients coming who have bought in these products, applied it all over the face, came with burns.
तो ये वाली ट्यूब नहीं 3 months में खत्म करनी है बेसिकली.
नहीं बाबा, नहीं बाप रे बाप. These are medical grade products. You know, Retinol, the chota sa tube that is, I think, about 230 rupees or less than 300 rupees, comes for months, and sometimes even like a year.
And that's also like 0.25%.
0.025, 0.04. It is not at all something that you finish it like that. So, yeah, so benzoyl peroxide, all are spot treatments you apply on the acne so that it eats up the dead skin cells there. It reduces the inflammation. It kills that particular acne bacteria. It is very specific.
Got it. And exfoliation such that हमारा dead cells ही मरे but barrier ना मरे के लिए कितने time week में करना है? Once a week
at home. More than enough. Unless you are somebody getting exposed to too much of pollution, having a feed.
Any of us not getting exposed to too much pollution.
That's what I'm saying. One.
All the cities are in like the top 50 most polluted cities in the world. Like the metros in India. So.
Yeah, but there are people who work on field.
Okay.
Outdoor people who work outdoor, field workers, they do get exposed. So for them, antioxidants, exfoliation, thoda sa zyada karna padta hai because there's a lot of impaction of those tiny. Okay, there was a huge phase during my medicine time. I used to go on two-wheelers. You feel it's okay, but then when you come back and you look at in the mirror, the tiny dust particles on your eyelashes, you can see only there. You don't feel it anywhere else. But you see that tiny particles on your eye because of the contrast of color, but then they're all sitting in your skin. And nobody is washing that face after a two-wheeler ride. So that is also causing the external damage. So then, exfoliation is important, but again with a low percentage, not very high percentages. Low percentages once or maybe for very few set of people, twice a week is enough. For some people, I even tell them to do once in 10 days. Listen to your skin and do what's required.
But some of us use these toners which also have these acids, right? So वो तो रोज use करना होता है. So you're saying that those are very mild, so it will not have a problem.
I think toner is going to become a very outdated concept anymore. There was a time to balance the pH of the skin, toners was used. Now most products are pH balanced already, right? So you don't have to use a toner separately.
So you are like shooting the CTM. So you are saying,
remove the T. It is protect, defense in the morning, and rejuvenate and repair at night. That's it. So उसमें से toner का कोई place नहीं है अभी. And then when you're doing so much, your cleanser has a salicylic. For example, now see, you have oily acne prone skin. You know that salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, retinol is good. Your salicylic acid is there in your face wash, toner, a serum, and now there are moisturizers with salicylic acid that are coming up crazy.
So there's some such thing as overdose of salicylic.
Overdose of salicylic acid, and then after 1 month, my patients are coming and saying, "Doc, I'm doing everything, but my skin is breaking out because you've disrupted your barrier now. Your barrier has given up. And you're giving free pass for everything. Even the microbacteria is going in, and then it is throwing acne at you." So do not overdo, because now most products are having multi-ingredients. Please be watchful of that. Read the label properly. Don't use too much of any ingredient. So your morning routine, broadly, you have your cleanser. Dry skin people can even skip their cleanser. I don't use a cleanser in the morning, very rarely. Yeah. So because night mein, what did you apply? You applied some ceramide based or any moisturizer, and through the night it is just sunk in. Your pillows are clean. Your room is not, it doesn't have a lot of dirt or dust. So your skin is clean. So what is there to cleanse in the morning? Unless you have accumulated oil on your face, that is a sebum, there's nothing much to cleanse in the morning. So you just take nice cold tap water, splash it on your face, dab it on your skin, and then go on with your next steps. So morning, you can use a cleanser. You have oily acne prone skin, must please go ahead and use a gentle cleanser in the morning. And dry skin, you use just water. And then you move on to, for oily acne prone skin, you can throw in some salicylic acid based serum 2 to 3 times a week, or an antioxidant serum, or something that can help you, like an azelaic acid serum that can also work at different capacities for oily acne prone skin. So you use that serum, and then your sunscreen. Right? But if you feel your skin is dry, put a moisturizer in between, otherwise a sunscreen. It's just these 3 steps. For dry skin, it's just face wash, put on your moisturizing sunscreen, ya fir add another serum that is hydrating like a hyaluronic acid serum, and then you use your sunscreen bus. Night you come, you wash your face for sure. Both of you have to wash your faces with the respective face washes. Something with hyaluronic acid, ceramides, panthenol for dry skin, something with glycolic, lactic for oily skin. And then you apply a serum that can again help with oil control or whatever. There is a serum in between, and then you have a moisturizer. Weekly once you exfoliate. morning or evening, it's up to you. Wash your face, exfoliate, and then do these steps.
Okay. Coming to your founder journey, when did you start your clinic, and what's the experience been like, having 3 babies, two
Two.
little children,
Acha,
and
like
then
that. Okay.
the DNA clinic?
That's true. That's so my entrepreneur. I think somewhere I feel that entrepreneurs are inherently, you are an inherent entrepreneur. Like you can't, it's very rare for you to acquire certain qualities, right? You're already in that mindset somewhere, I feel. Is that right? What do you think?
I think anybody can be an entrepreneur.
Huh.
And for anybody becoming an entrepreneur, it's going to be hard.
No, that's
So I
true.
think we have to go into it with that thing that there is a sense of purpose associated with it, and it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
But we're going to enjoy the journey.
We are going to enjoy. So for me, it was never that, okay, I should become an entrepreneur or docpreneur now. That's the term.
Oh, docpreneur. I like it. Huh?
It was never that. I just wanted to have my safe space of practice, because I'm very experimental also. Like I want my comfort area wherein I don't have to follow the rules by the book. I want to create my own. So even for treatment protocols, when we were in our PG, I had to fight with my professor to introduce 1 or 2 treatments, and it was a long fight. Like for one and a half, the course is for 3 years. For one and a half year, I
Which
was just
treatment did you have to fight for?
derma rolling. It was new back then. It was still not, and my postgraduate is not in a metro. It was not in a city. It was still in a town. So cosmetology was like just not in the vicinity of our practice also. It was just, we were seeing a lot of psoriasis and more of like dermatology, our practice was. So we had to do thesis, and I was reading and I was hearing this derma rolling buzzing everywhere else. And I said, let's do this. I want to do thesis on this. He said, no, it's not. So I understand where he's coming from also. He was already like close to his 70s. So for him, it was more of
Because
traditional.
it's aesthetics, not treatment.
No, I was treating it for acne scars only.
Okay.
But still, it was out of his comfort zone.
Okay.
So I had to like fight for 1.5 years, saying, no, if I do, I'll do this, because this is something new. And then once we started doing it and we started seeing the results with it, and then he was very happy. He was very supportive after that. It's just that getting out of that comfort zone. But it took so much time for me to just convince to do something as simple as derma roller. And it was out of my pocket. I knew that having my own space is what is going to bring the best out of me creatively. And I also wanted to, there are so many targets when you work in some places, quite honestly. So that is again something I was not very comfortable with. So I started my own space. It was a very natural thing for me. Like I never thought I should work somewhere or this thing. Of course, I've learned a lot from amazing mentors that I came in my journey, but I always wanted to have my own space. Of course, it comes with its own challenges. You need to establish yourself, to get your own clientele, to get your own patients, and to create your own treatment protocols. It is very fascinating, wonderful journey. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah.
And so do you have like a lot of patients who come in and argue with you because they've learned something on ChatGPT?
Oh yeah, always. They come with their own set of, they come, sometimes they say, doc, I have PCOS, I have this, I have
So
hormonal
diagnosis already
acne,
there,
diagnosis is already there. And now the thing is that they come with big bags. With all the products that they're using.
Oh, okay.
And there are times where the products go from one end of the table to the other, and they're using all of that. So there is one set of people like that. Then they say,
so do you confiscate some of the products?
There are some where I throw the tubes in the dustbin in front of them, saying these are steroids. These are triple combination medications, which is going to harm your skin irreversibly. So there are times where I threw the products right in front of them. But it is what it is, right? And then there are a set of people who come and say, doc, mujhe ye sab hai, but I don't want any chemicals. I don't want to do any treatments. I just want a basic skincare routine. So there are all sorts of people. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes it's not even their fault. They just they consume with so much of content. Even if you search, the SEO works so well. You know that more than anybody. So you type something, and then the whole set of the next messages or the reels are all about that. So then you just end up consuming that even without you realizing you're consuming so much. And then somewhere it creates doubt in them. So and initially it used to just bother me, but now I'm like, bichara. Yeah,
you have empathy.
Yeah, I have empathy.
You know
like now
and what's the typical person who walks into DNA skin clinic like? मतलब ratio क्या है, men, women, age, कौन सी age से ज़्यादा लोग आ रहे हैं?
the beauty with dermatology or skin practice is you have patients across all age groups. You have babies who have skin issues to people, the geriatric population who have skin issues. But I think by and large, it's the teenagers. There's one peak with the teenagers having acne and just started to have the hair thinning. And then there's another peak like for 30s to 40s who are looking for pigmentation and anti-aging routines. So this is the typical peak. But the beauty is that now it is shifting from curative treatments to preventive care. Now, a lot of people are now coming and saying, oh, nothing, doc, I just want a good skincare routine. I wanted to take the dermatologist help to set up a good skincare routine for myself, because now also people, too much of consuming of all these information. I think the people are also having enough of it. They're also so confused. So I see the shift even in the last 1 year or so. I see now people are like, I researched, I tried everything, nothing is working. Now I want you to help me fix a good skincare routine. So a lot of people are also coming to just address the health of their skin more than anything else. And there's also men who are walking in more. There was a point where the percentage in the clinic was, I think, about 18 to 19% men and the rest women. And now it has grown to 29.9, so almost up to 30% men versus 70 women. And I think that ratio is also going to shift very, very soon. And also before, it was the didis or wives who were bringing the husbands. Even now, it is still that. She got her dad to get a hair transplantation done. He could fight mom, wife, but he bowed down to the daughter. So he's getting his HD done. So men still need that push from their other women in their life. But there are a lot of men who are also coming up independently to take care of the skin. I'm so happy with this shift. People want to take care of their skin for the health of it more than anything else. So that's the shift.
And men the two most popular concerns are acne and hair fall?
Hair thinning.
Hair thinning is the most popular.
Hair thinning and acne, both I would say, again, depending on the age. So hair fall is different from hair thinning. Your hair fall, you see that your hair is everywhere on your pillows, on the floor. That's usually because you're stressed, you're poor sleep, you're nutritionally deficient in something, you have iron deficiency or you have thyroid issues, or you're recovering from some major illness like dengue, you're recovering and after 1 month of recovery, you see that your hair is falling. That's called telogen effluvium. But then you have hair thinning or the male pattern or female patterned baldness, wherein you see that the hair is, you don't see hair anywhere, but then you wake up after, in a few years, the damage is very slow. And then you see that, oh my God, my scalp is more visible. I'm going bald. So that is balding. That is because of your hormones and genetics. That's not really anything to do with what you've done or what you've not done. You're born with the genetics to grow bald. But of course, all these lifestyle factors are going to add fuel to the fire. So for men, it is acne and this, but also pigmentation is a big concern for men.
Got it. And so that's for men. And for women, generally, top 2-3 concerns क्या होते हैं?
एज के हिसाब से टीनेजर्स देखो तो एक्ने ही है, एंड देन 30s में पिगमेंटेशन, 40s में एंटी एजिंग, फाइन लाइन्स, wrinkles, but mostly it is dark spots. Indian skin is so much prone to pigmentation, like we just discussed, right? Anything you do to your skin, it will throw pigment at you. You rub, you sun expose, you dust, everything, it is just going to throw more and more pigmentation at you. So you need to keep taking care of it regular basis. So I give this analogy to my patients that think of your skin care as the way you take care of your house, your home, right? So you sweep, swap, do that every single day. That is going to take care of the dust at superficial level. So that is like using skincare routine every single day, right? And then ab jitna bhi roz you clean, you do everything, there are nooks and corners that will not be addressed. So that is when you do deep cleaning once in a while. That is equal to the clinical treatments that you do once in a while. Because your skincare, the products, the molecular sizes are big, the percentages are so low, they cannot penetrate deep, they cannot address the concerns that are sitting in the dermal depth. From where all these problems actually come up, right? You have pigmentation on your skin. That's not just there on the superficial layers of things, that is traveling from the dermis to your epidermis. So how are you going to reach the root level of the problem? Your products cannot do it. So that's when we do lasers and peels that go to that depth and address that problem. So ye ho gaya. So daily skincare equals to daily cleaning, deep cleaning equals to your clinical treatments. Now you've lived in the same house for many, many years, right? You want to renovate it, you want to do some changes to it. That's like your fillers, your toxins, your injectables, or your threads. So these are restorative, regenerative procedures. Now whether you want to renovate or not is choice. But if you want to stay in a safe, healthy, happy home, the cleaning and deep cleaning are non-negotiable. So that's with your skincare also. So look at it like that.
Very interesting. So I want to थोड़ा सा understand layman के लिए some of these treatments better. I think there was this time where लोग सोचते थे कि सिर्फ celebrities को treatments कराने चाहिए because A, they can afford it, and
Right.
B, they need, the career depends on their
That's their bread
way
and
they
butter
look.
also.
But if you look at least outside India, I think from Pele carrying those bags, I think the shift has happened where like the more your skin is perfect or glowing or just work has been done, the more it indicates a sign of wealth and being better off. But I feel all of this is still the assumption that doing treatments is very expensive in a country where you have now even access to luxury brands, and a bottle of skincare can cost like 4,000-5,000 rupees. I think treatments जो लोगों को बहुत महंगे लगते हैं वो अफोर्डेबल हो गए हैं. एंड आई वांट टू बेसिकली अंडरस्टैंड कि 5-6 हज़ार में, 10-15 हज़ार में, एंड देन 20-25 हज़ार में, एंड देन 1 लाख एंड अबव क्या क्या हो सकता है एंड किसको करना चाहिए.
You're putting me on a spot now.
Because and I'm not talking about what a specific clinic charges, but in general, because I think
understand.
there is a lot of alienation that's happening. जहाँ हम देख रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे सब जगह ट्रीटमेंट accessible हो रहा है, but हमें डर लगता है. A lot of times we hesitate even to go to a clinic thinking that
like बहुत expensive होगा.
बहुत expensive होगा. So what can I do for like under 5,000 rupees in terms of a treatment?
Chemical peel. You can get chemical peels that can help you with exfoliating. So that will help you with treating your acne, your pigmentation, dark spots, uneven skin tone, and also works very, very little bit for anti-aging, because when you exfoliate your skin, other products and treatments are more, better off. Like they act very well. So I think under 5,000, you can get good chemical peels. You can also, in some clinics with certain machines, you can also get lasers like Q-switch laser, lasers like CO2, MNRF.
So coming to chemical peel, how often should I do a chemical peel?
Yeah, a great question. So it depends on the depth of the peel. Now
this is the deep cleaning.
This is the deep cleaning. Absolutely. This is the second category. So even in chemical peels, we have superficial peels, medium depth peels, and very deep peels. So very deep peels you do only once in a year or even much with lesser frequency. And then there are medium depth peels which you can get done once in 3 months or so. But then very superficial peels you can get done every month. Because the skin का जो cycle है ना वो 28 days का होता है, generally 28 to 30 days. So every month if you keep exfoliating, so that's how we arrived at that number of days as 30 days. So once a month is good.
So if somebody can afford it, ideally उन्हें once a week घर पे exfoliate करना चाहिए and once a month clinic में जाके.
If you're following a very good diligent skincare routine जहाँ पे आप हर हफ्ता आप अच्छा सा exfoliate कर रहे हो and everything else also is being well, I wouldn't recommend it every month. It's like a little bit of overkill. You can then do it only once in 2 months. Okay. You can also get your Hydrafacials, Medifacials under 5,000 in some places.
Got it. And do you recommend Hydrafacials?
Glorified facial, but I mean, like, it's nice if you want to feel good, go relax yourself and all of that, but it's just glorified facial. It's not going to treat the deep concerns as such.
So for the same amount of money, you're saying chemical peel is here and Hydrafacial would be here, like in terms of how you would recommend.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to say Hydrafacial because it's the brand of a thing.
Oh, okay.
We will say Medifacial or any machine-related facial. A Hydrafacial is a brand of the machine-related facials. Okay?
So you can't be found in a salon.
No,
which is
I mean, unless that is a very exclusive high-end salon, you can't. So there are times where, when I go to a salon for my haircut recently, there was this lady who said, I have Hydrafacial, why don't you? She didn't know I was a derm. So she said, I have Hydrafacial. I said, Acha, let me see. It was not Hydrafacial. It was just a very simple. It had that suction ka pipe ek tha, and then extraction ka kuch tha. Bas, there was nothing else. So it is used very frivolously because Hydrafacial marketing itna अच्छा था.
बहुत अच्छा था.
But
you are saying कि इसमें there are no FDA guidelines that prevent you from using Hydrafacial equipment in a salon?
Arey, forget Hydrafacial. At least it's thoda sa harmless. People are using Q-switch laser, CO2s, MNRF in salons. Now, how do we even explain this to people ki don't get it done? Because I've seen patients come to me with burns, scars after doing all of these things. Hydrafacial fir bhi is okay. So no, Hydrafacial company people have done this thing to give you a certification that this is the original, these people have original Hydrafacial, they give you a certificate. But that also can be faked, I think.
आजकल business models आ रहे हैं where there are treatments being brought to home.
Oh, it depends on which one. Okay. So laser hair removal at home was a big thing. Oh my God. First thing is you should be super well trained to deliver that kind of energy. So you have to, the laser works by technology of the melanin in your hair absorbs this laser and then slowly and gradually kills it, and your hair is permanently gone. Sometimes it can regrow because of your hormonal issues, but otherwise, by and large, 13 years hair free. That is the beauty of laser. So you have to see the skin color, you have to see the thickness of the hair, and then decide the energy. So this requires quite a bit of training, and you have to be smart enough to take the call on the go. Right? It's not once again, it's not like okay मैंने parameters दे दिया आप यही use करो सब पे, नहीं. अगर some people will be tanned, this part of their skin is more has more melanin during that session, and this is not, so the energy changes according to that as well. So there are times where when you get laser hair removal at home, the best thing that can happen probably is maybe you get result, but otherwise the next best thing is you don't get any results. There's no harm also. But then the other end of the spectrum is burns. One case I can never forget is, so the other problem with this is not just laser. So what happens is when these girls go to do laser hair removal, they just don't do laser hair removal because now they have free access to the customers. They promote other treatments. So this lady promoted chemical peels in the patient who had come to me, saying that, you know, आप clinic पे जाओ तो इतना हो रहा है. The same TCA is one of the most strongest peels. And she said, you're getting your TCA, and it's like you with your parlor aunties and these people, you discuss everything, right? So she, I think, would have discussed that she's getting.
मैं घर पे कर दूंगी.
हाँ,
मैं घर पे
कर दूंगी. तो you're spending XYZ amount when you spend there. मैं उसमें आधा पैसे में मैं कर लूंगी because I have access to all this. So she's gotten a TCA peel at home. Full back burns. I'm not even exaggerating this. Burns. And she's 23, 24-year-old girl. She has not told at home that ऐसा कुछ हुआ है करके. So laser hair removal, first of all, she didn't get the results with the laser hair removal. Now her full back is burnt because of this. Because you will, once or twice you get the treatment in the clinic and nothing has happened, so you think it's a safe procedure. Now this female has gotten it done, burns. She's come to me. I said, listen, we really can't do much. Maybe I can give you 10 to 20% improvement from where we are, but I really can't do much. This girl is not married. She's not told at home that she's gotten this done. She said, I got suicidal thoughts because I'm so scared. My parents are very conservative. If they get to know that this thing has happened to me, they will kill me. So what do I do? So more than the dermatologist, I was her counselor for that few months. So every time she comes, we used to treat. We can't treat it. It was so bad. The burns was so bad. It was like acid फेंक दिया उसके ऊपर पीछे. इतना horrible burns था. She had to get admitted in the hospital to treat it. So then and also because these people have no knowledge, right? So after she did it, she kept calling her saying, I have burning sensation. Can you check what's happening? She said, no, if TCA, it's very normal. You get burning sensation. Hota hai. And this female also didn't do anything about it. It's her mistake also, no? So 2 to 3 days she saw, and then she realized it got severely burnt because she did LHR and then did the TCA on top of it. And now what will happen? She's complained to this company people that this female has done it. They will not take responsibility because they said, we've sent her to do your laser. What you guys do after that is not our responsibility. They just fired her. That female got away with just getting fired.
And somebody's life
and
is
somebody's, imagine. Now she's like, I've not gotten married. Now what do I do? It was very tragic.
So basically, chemical peels, laser, and any such treatment salon में या घर पे नहीं
मत करवाओ यार, मत करवाओ. I'm telling you, the best thing that can happen is you're not getting result. You just wasted money. But the worst is these kind of things. Can you even imagine that this female thought something like this could happen with her when she was very, very casually getting a peel done at home? This is what can
and
happen.
those before after pictures generally इतने tempting होते हैं, like Instagram pages.
They're all edited now.
It's like
they're all edited. That's why they look very tempting. But realistic में in real, having the best, and I'm somebody who believes in getting the best technology. That's my jewelry. Each machine is like 45 lakhs, 50 lakhs, and there's a cool sculpting that is 70 lakhs.
Yeah, diamonds are forever. Anti-aging is forever.
Anti-aging, and this is my bread and butter, right? So I invest in the best technologies. So having those kind of technologies, also I tell my patients, I will not be able to improve your scars more than 60%, 70%, sometimes not more than that. And for average Indians who have deeper skin tones, the results are only 30 to 50%. So scars are going to stay forever. So treat your acne and whatever is causing the scars, usko aap thoda control mein rakhe, to then the scars won't be caused only. So that's the thing. So please don't get any of these treatments done at home. Not safe at all.
Got it. And so you were saying 10,000 की range में आप laser करा सकते हो. And in laser there is of course the common hair removal, but what you're talking about is laser treatment.
Laser
तो
treatments,
उसमें you said Q switch.
Q switch laser that can help you with your pigmentation concerns.
Okay.
Then you have your CO2, erbium-YAG, MNRF lasers that can help you with your scars, any form of scars, accident scars.
This is also the resurfacing laser.
Resurfacing laser,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
Just for like skin rejuvenation, resurfacing, the settings are slightly different, but for scars, it's very different. So you have your MNRF, CO2, erbium-YAG. These are the set of things for all types of scar treatments. This also can be done.
And ये जो 10,000 का typical treatment है in a typical dermat clinic, वो एक बार में हो जाता है कि multiple times?
Multiple times, yeah. Most of these treatments are multi-session. Something that's very, very deep and aggressive is generally one session.
So if you're not ready to spend 30-40,000, shouldn't even try some of these treatments,
Yeah.
because एक बार से कुछ होगा नहीं.
एक बार से कुछ होगा नहीं. Yeah.
So
now there are a lot of clinics who offer EMIs and all that is there. But yeah, so
But
if you look
total
at the
outflow
overall,
फिर भी
if you want to get your pigmentation treated, you should be at least prepared with 50,000.
50,000.
Roughly.
And if you then go to injectables like fillers, Botox, it goes in lakhs.
It depends on how much you're doing. So if you're just getting like your forehead Botoxed, it should be done in 20,000 also, or even lesser. It depends on how much, what areas you're treating. The cost of it is per unit. So typically, say for like forehead, if you're injecting like 50 units or 20 or 25 units, it's not going to cost that much. So it depends on how much you're doing. Fillers, on the other hand, each ml, people, again, it is completely skill dependent. Filler kya hota hai? Ek syringe, that's it. But where is the magic? It's not in this.
It's where you put it.
It's in this.
In the hand.
It's in the injector's hand, in their eyes. What kind of aesthetic inclination they have, what kind of analysis they do on your face, and what is their outlook of beauty. You know, there are people, for them, like very big lips, like changing your original features is okay. That is their sensibility. They are okay with it because they've done it to themselves also. But then there are a few set of people who feel like, no, I don't want to change much about this person. For me, I look at it keeping your hero feature the same, not taking away. Somebody has like a little bit of thin lips, that is giving them that innocent character to their face. I don't want to plump it up like Priyanka Chopra's lips. For her, it's amazing on her. It gives that sexy vibe and it's beautiful. But then imagine doing the same thing to somebody who has a very innocent face, who is emoting innocence. You don't want to take away their primary hero feature. You don't want people to look like replicas of each other, right? So you have to maintain their individuality. So the good filler job is when someone looks at you and says, hey, you look fresh. Hey, you look good. What's up? That's it. Hey, nice filler job. Fail. You
Very
got caught. Yeah, you know. So your filler job, good injectors, they do this. They don't make you look like someone, or they don't make you look like you have done it, but still you look enhanced, you look rejuvenated, you look fab, especially for under eyes.
So
yeah.
are there cases जहाँ आपने अपने patient को मना किया कि मैंने ये नहीं
बहुत सारा. That is more actually. That is more than I say yes.
अच्छा.
Yeah.
ज़्यादा मना करते हो than say yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a lot.
But you're a founder. You also have to pay the bills and the rent and the
That's true.
cost of running business. How
That's
does that
true.
dilemma work?
Because see, two things happen here. You're building trust with your patient also. So they're not going to go anywhere if you're very honest with them. So maybe you are sowing the seeds for your future as well. So imagine now anybody comes to me and I do anything for them. Eventually, if the person, you know, there are times where people stick the pictures, the features of different celebrities, they make it one whole face and they come and ask me to deliver that job. That's not going to happen. So you need to counsel them. You need to give them the reality check and explain, and then very respectfully say no if it is not aligning with your line of work, right? So sometimes we lose patients, for sure. They go
and they're done somewhere else.
They're done it somewhere else. So there are people who go, come back, and they say, doc, we didn't like how it turned out. Can you please dissolve it and let's redo it the way you explain, okay? But there are also some set of people who go and who are very happy because their vision is aligning with this injector's vision of changing their looks and making them look a different way. Some people find happiness in that also. So to each their own, no judgment. This is my way of working. That is your way of looking at yourself. We don't have to be on the same track all the time.
And is there like a push ki mujhe zyada ml de do?
With fillers, it's expensive procedure, and I have lot of, for the lack of a better word, non-celebrities, like housewives or people working from home, self-employed people, all sorts of people now are opening up for these procedures. So they are not having very high income, but still they want to do these things. So they are like, with as less ml you give me good result, I'm very happy.
किसी को पता नहीं
So
चलना चाहिए.
किसी को नहीं पता चलना चाहिए, and it should not burn my pocket also, because my pockets are not so deep. So your 1 ml of filler can cost you anywhere between like 16,000-18,000, and there are injectors who will even charge you 50,000-60,000 for the same ml, because now this injector is experienced.
And there's the art
The
which
art
comes
that
into the
comes
picture.
in. I know I am freaking good with my fillers, and my time, because I cannot do it on 100 people a day.
Got it.
So my time is this much. So there is a value for the filler, there's a value for the person who's doing it.
Got it.
So it can range anywhere from 15,000 to 55,000 also. And also the type of filler.
Got it. So I'm going to ask you about the most common myths or facts that people talk about, and आप मुझे बताइए, you believe it to be fact or fiction.
Done.
All right. So first is I can use face yoga to make my skin glow.
Face yoga for skin glow is tad bit true, but it cannot magically cause lifting up of your sagging tissues and do all of that. What happens is, when you do face yoga, you're massaging your face, so you're pumping in more blood, hence more oxygen, so you are making your skin have that subtle glow and that snatched look for some time. So for instant and lymphatic drainage also it's good, but otherwise it is not going to give you that snatched look, because the way the muscles on your face are very different from the muscles of your body. So the analogy is that, or you're working out, you're building muscle, and toning your skin, and hence face yoga also will help. Now, when you're doing so much of tugging and pulling and massaging of your skin, you are going to break down the collagen and elastin fibers and cause more wrinkles, fine lines. Why do wrinkles happen? Because you move the muscle. When there is movement of the muscle, suppose you're a very angry, irritated person, your levens develop fast. You're a very happy, smiling person, you have your crow's feet. So your face wrinkles tell story about your life. That is because of movement. Now, when you move your muscles so much, it is definitely going to cause fine lines and wrinkles.
So face yoga is a no. अगर करना है तो face को घिसो मत.
Face को घिसो मत, especially if you have deeper skin tones. It's going to trigger your pigmentation, melasma, cause fine lines, wrinkles, all sorts of things.
Shark Tank में बोलते हैं, वो जो pitch चल रही होती है, I have like more going on my face than in the pitch, because it's like a natural reaction to everything.
So if you want to like look surprised, you don't do this, you do just with your eyes.
Oh my god.
So,
damn, anti-aging is
It's
hard.
only for your frontalis. That works well only for your forehead muscles. But I'm saying, see, ultimately it's not, looks is not the end of it, right? You have to be
happy.
Life is more important. So if you're a happy person, yeah, we have Botox and stuff to take care of those lines. Just be happy. Just don't try to...
And the glow will compensate. That comes from happiness, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The glow.
Got it. And collagen powders to build my collagen reserves, because I'm in my 40s and it's depleting fast.
So there is this thing, okay, you take collagen powder and it is automatically going to become collagen. No, that's not how it works. Collagen is going to be broken down into various amino acids and dipeptides in your gut. But where are they going? They're going into your system. So these peptides and amino acids are also going to be beneficial, and they're going to signal the collagen production. So they work not as direct collagen in your system, but they're going to signal the collagen, they signal the skin's fibroblasts, and they help with collagen boosting and various other benefits. It is proven now, there is a good research that says with 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use of good, like a type 1 marine collagen or type 1, type 3 bovine collagen. Bovine is more better, but due to religious reasons, many people prefer marine collagen. With 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use, it improves your skin's elasticity. You feel that your nails are more stronger. There is a little shine in your hair. It is there. It is not useless.
But when you refer to these data sources, काफी studies Indians पे भी हैं कि all of these are Caucasian studies, so there might be a challenge in the usability in India.
See, collagen is collagen end of the day. So suppose if somebody does a research on certain food, like eggs or something, of course, the genetics and racial ethnicity, all of that plays a role. But by and large, the data on bioavailability, that is universal. It is what it is. The bigger problem of this is not whether it is done on Caucasians or this. The bigger problem is who is doing it. Most of the studies are from the company, are sponsored. So that's then hence they are not very reliable. But like I said, it's about what you experience also plays a role.
और सफेद बाल प्लक या कलर करने से और सफेद बाल आ जाते हैं?
I think is it still existing, that myth?
Yeah.
Is it really still? We've busted it many times. It doesn't work like that. Your gray hair,
Not even hair coloring. Coloring doesn't make more hair become gray.
No. Because your hair is growing gray from inside, not out to in. It's in to out. The melanocytes there are not producing melanin, and that is a very internal process, either because of your genetics or because you're deficient with certain vitamins or because of free radical damage. It's nothing to do with your colors. It's nothing to do with your plucking of your gray hair. That doesn't mean we are promoting plucking of the gray hair. Come on, you need to have hair on your head. It causes inflammation. It can cause damage to the root when you repeatedly do it. That problem is there, but not graying.
So don't pluck it, but you can color it. It's okay.
You can color it. Again, coloring has that's altogether a different subject. Hair colors are one of the biggest culprits for pigmentation. Especially there's a condition called LPP, lichen planus pigmentosus, and
On the
hair
face?
colors. Yeah. And it's a very delayed reaction. So there are two types of reactions when you apply something or do something, right? There is an immediate allergic reaction. जो आपने color apply kiya, then within like an hour or so, you tend to get those rashes, irritation sensitive. That is immediate allergic reaction that you can rule out by doing patch testing. But then there is also something called as delayed reactions. You will never know who is
How delayed?
You will years. Years of cumulative damage. 2 years, 3 years, it will slowly start to come. Sometimes even within a year, people can get it, but generally it can even go up to 2 to 3 years of multiple cumulative damage. Delayed reactions can happen even with other ingredients in the hair colors, which we really not are aware of. And even don't think that, okay, I'm using homemade henna and I'm very safe. No, that is also
Henna is worse actually.
Phototoxic. So you can get pigmented. You can get allergic reactions even with that. So yeah. So the only thing is try to minimize the number of times you color your hair. But now it is what it is. Yeah.
And glutathione injections can make me fairer.
Can give you a subtle glow if you take weekly injections.
If you take
weekly injections, in about 1.5 to 2 months, you'd start to see that your skin is glowing a little bit. That is, again, not just your skin. Every organ is performing better because it's a master antioxidant. It quenches the free radicals and it helps your body get better overall. It's not just your skin. You're not taking only glutathione. That means you're also doing something else to your skin. Probably you're following a good skincare routine and you're doing things that can help your skin glow. So it's not just one glutathione. It is the whole thing.
And last one, which is the most controversial, natural DIYs are always safe.
For your gut, not for the skin. Okay, the DIYs as a dermatologist we are okay with. Your multani mitti is fine. It can suck up the oils, but the same multani mitti is not going to help if you have very dry skin. Oily acne prone skin, chalo aap laga lo. Aloe vera, very anti-inflammatory, very cooling, very good. It also works on dandruff, for your scalp. I even recommend it for dandruff. But the same aloe vera can cause allergic reactions, especially if that yellow sap is not taken out. You cut it and then people start rubbing it. No, you cut it, cut the ends, take away that yellow sap and only take that transparent, translucent gel that you get. Freshly squeezed aloe vera, not the store-bought aloe vera. Then it's safe. You put it on for long enough time for your scalp, it can also trigger your sinus or headaches. So the timing is important. The way you apply is important. Your multani mitti is okay. Your sandalwood paste is good. Basin, highly comedogenic. If you have dry skin, sensitive skin, it can cause more dryness, clogs the pores and cause a little bit of tiny rashes. Classic example is sitting right in front of you. Basin doesn't suit my skin. But it can suit a few people. So you have to try, test. If it's working for you, still don't do it. There are better options. Absolute no's are your lemon, toothpaste, ginger, garlic, baking soda, what else? Salt.
I'm hearing ginger garlic for the first time.
Oh yeah,
Lemon I've heard, but
no. The people use it. So I have, I had a teenager who would come with big burn here, like PIH, not burn literally, but like because of the superficial burn after applying garlic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are absolutely no. These kitchen items are great for your gut, but not when put on your skin.
So drink them, but don't apply them.
Drink, eat up. If life gives you lemons, put it in tequila or put it in your lemon rice, but not on my skin. Yeah, don't irritate my skin with your lemons. That's all.
And initially you had mentioned कि आजकल एक नया craze है कि बोलते हैं chemical से endocrine disruption हो रहा है, hormonal imbalances. So are there any ingredients that are actually causing this disruption, or it's all fiction?
It cannot cause endocrine disruption, especially if you're talking about sunscreens. It cannot cause endocrine disruptions in the quantities we are using. These lab studies use 15, 20 times more the quantity that we can ever use in our entire lifetime of application. Are they getting absorbed in the system? Yes, they get absorbed in the system. So what? Your water is getting absorbed, your food is getting absorbed, everything is getting absorbed. The point is, what is the quantity? What is the cumulative damage? Now, there are certain ingredients that are present in your perfumes, in your room sprays, in your nail paint, in your sunscreen. Now, this is a lot. This is a lot. So you are applying your sunscreen, you're getting your nails very frequently. You're also push बहुत perfume, like literally ये हो जाएगा करके ऊपर से नीचे आप, you're inhaling this, and you're also using a lot of sunscreen sprays. So when you do too much, yes, it can lead to some level of endocrine disruption, but don't do that much firstly. But if you're applying your sunscreen with the set quantity for the entire life, it is still not equal to the amount that they're putting in these animal studies, because they put a lot of dose. What is their job as a regulatory body is to see what will happen if we overdo. Till what point is it safe? Till what point it turns to become unsafe? And if it becomes unsafe, what is going to happen? This is the job of the regulatory bodies. And now come with this data saying, yes, this causes endocrine disruption. It's not as black and white as it is. How much quantity, for how long, will cause this kind of disruption? Regular use is not going to cause.
And sunscreen spray, agarbatti is harmful because of the inhalation. So sunscreen spray you don't recommend क्योंकि protection काफी नहीं है, or because of again the aerosol and the
inhalation hazard is one of the biggest problem with sunscreens. To quantification of how much of product you've used. So sunscreen, moisturizers or any product with retinol, the quantity is so much, but with sunscreens the quantity is 2 to 3 finger lengths, right? So with sunscreens, with sprays, how are you going to measure? So you have to put it in a cap or something to spray and see how much you're getting. It's not practically possible. So you might not get enough coverage. You're exposing yourself to inhalation hazard. Why? When you can as well just use creams or gel based. But when you use it on hands, legs and backs, it's fine. You can use a spray. That is occasional. Turn your face to the other side, spray it, hold your breath for some time, spray it, dab it, and you're done. Do not inhale it.
Got it.
The worst are your sunscreen sticks, sunscreen wipes, scalp sunscreens.
Because they don't protect.
They're not needed. They don't protect. They're causing more harm to you. And
all right. We actually searched on Google to check what are the most asked skin related questions, and just I'll ask you a couple of them. एक है जो मैंने बहुत बार खुद Google किया है. What is the fastest way to get rid of a pimple overnight?
Pimple overnight. It's really, so something, there's a lot of inflammation, right? If you overdo it, you're going to, maybe the pimple will go. You pick it, it'll go. You put a lot of salicylic acid, patch it and do all that hangama, put garlic, it might go. But what is it going to leave? The PIH, the dark spot, that will not go so easily for months. So I would say, firstly, don't get too desperate to get rid of your acne in a day. But what you can do is to apply topical treatments, spot treatments we say, that have medical grade concoctions. You can apply salicylic acid, you can apply pimple patch a little bit. Pimple patch, more than treating it, will help you stay off picking
touching.
And then but overnight pimple reduction is not possible unless you pick it and like just take it off physically. It's not possible.
Okay, one very common question is, how do I reduce pore size?
Eating collagen rich foods, boosting your collagen naturally, boosting your collagen through products, boosting your collagen through clinical treatments.
But can you reduce pore size? Is it possible?
Again, the size of the pores is already genetically determined. But what happens is it can get enlarged and loosen up a little bit because of lack of collagen, or because you're doing too much of steam, sauna, and just irritating your skin. So you can make it shrink a little bit, make it look a little tighter. Definitely, yes. So at home, the ingredients that can help you with the same are your exfoliants, your retinoids, sunscreen, moisturizer, non-negotiable. But it's the retinoids, retinol, and this is going to help you with that.
So Dr. Priyanka will never go to a sauna or a steam room.
You can go. I mean, it also has its benefits, right? It will help you with detoxification.
Longevity mein aajkal sauna is recommended 20 minutes, 3 times a week.
Yes. So, cover your face.
Cover your face.
Rest of the body to expose kar lo. Face, you expose it for some time. And the people who take direct steam, like it's hitting your face directly. Instead of that, you have the steam chambers that's not hitting your skin directly. That is just heating up the temperatures, and your body through your sweat, through your pores, skin pores, is letting the sweat and toxins out. And even that, suppose if you're exposing yourself, say like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe you expose your face also. बाद में I तो will cover up a little bit
So
as
you
I
put
don't
like
want
a
my
towel,
skin to.
like,
Yeah, थोड़ा सा towel you cover
तो
up.
sauna and steam room दोनों में आप towel लेके बैठोगे?
थोड़ी देर, मतलब not the whole time,
Okay.
because you also have to let it breathe. You also have to toxins go. First thing, don't sit very close to the direct steam. Stay away. Don't let anything hit your face. It could be your AC ka air, your fan. Nothing should hit your face directly. When you're sleeping, don't put the vents directly onto your face. Nothing should hit your face directly. That's all. Yeah.
And can we tan with an SPF 50?
You can tan no matter what SPF you use, because sunscreen is not a shield that is protecting you 100% from the sun exposure, which is why I always focus and insist on comprehensive sun protection.
Got it. Awesome. My last question. आपका clinic का नाम DNA है. It's not like right now you're changing the genes, but I'm sure someday you will. What do you think in the next 10 years skincare will look like? And,
See, the beauty of the current times is you never know what's going to happen. The times are changing so fast and so rapidly that, oh my God, it's so difficult to catch up also. But I think, of course, AI is creeping into every segment. And for skincare, it's going to, I think, we already have facial analyzing machines, right? We scan your face and we can tell what's the hydration level, what kind of wrinkles you have, what type of pigmentation, the depth, all of it is, we know. But they are not very accurate yet. But I think the real-time facial analyzers will come, wherein you're also able to detect your skin's microbiome. And then your skincare routine is not going to be probably like for dry skin, for oily skin, but it's going to be for your skin. It's going to be so specific. Hyper-personalization, wherein I think, you can integrate the software of analyzing your face to your inventory. So you don't even need anybody here. So it's going to scan, and the inventory it's all automatically going to tell you the list of the products that you need according to your skin's microbiome and concerns that you have. And you're going to get an entire skincare routine. How fascinating it is, no? So that is one area that I think will take over. I think just diagnosing certain skin conditions is also going to happen through the AI, because now people are already doing, they upload a picture and it's doing a good job, let me honestly tell you. But what it cannot take away, I'll tell you why we are safe. I think there are a lot of jobs at risk going forward, but why are we safe is
the art.
And I think no amount of technology, how do I put it the right way? No amount of technology can take away the therapeutic healing powers of a human.
And the empathy.
So when there is a diagnosis, it is also about empathy, right? You're not giving XYZ treatment. It is about the empathy that comes in with the human's touch. And no AI or robotic services can help give the accurate results like with fillers or injectables or lasers. So the human empathy consultations, the therapeutic value of this is not going to be taken away, no matter what we do. And certain treatment executions cannot be taken away. But I think everything else can be replaced very easily. Like now, sit real-time face analysis. Chalo, ye products aap use kar lo. This is your gut microbiome, this is your skin microbiome, and this is your routine. This is your food dietary chart, and this is your skin. Bas. So before I used to struggle, so for me, I believe in holistic wellness, integrated approach a lot. And I take pride in saying that I've treated so many autoimmune conditions, especially psoriasis, with just diet and lifestyle changes more than medications. Because psoriasis is not just the condition of your skin, it's the gut. So before I used to struggle we had this DNA 360 program where dermatologists were there, physicians, nutritionists, fitness experts. So we used to put these people with chronic ailments through all these people and give them a final thing. Now, I tell them that, okay, if you don't have money or the budgets to allot for this, I understand, because most of the time people with these conditions are also coming from lower socioeconomic status also. I understand if you can't take, you have AI-assisted apps. Just put your height, weight, BMI, and basic stuff that you know about yourself. Put few ingredients that you really like in your kitchen. Like I love eating these vegetables, and my doctor asked me not to eat this because we give them the food chart. Place that in the AI app and tell them, give me my weekly, monthly diet plan with this much calories, and it is going to give you a complete diet chart. You don't even need help if you can't afford it. That's not a reason for you to procrastinate. You can get onto your AI assisted apps and even curate your dietary programs very well, right? So I would insist my patients to only look after your skin in a holistic way, wherein you look at your sleep. The most important is your sleep. Address your stress, talk it out. Stress can kill from something as superficial. When you're so stressed, the first thing that happens is hair fall.
Yeah.
Skin and hair are beautiful external expressors of internal health. Listen to it, understand what it's trying to communicate, and then treat it. A lot of times patients comes in and we know that this person is deficient with this. It's trying to communicate, and you have to like look out and try to address these concerns. So look at your diet, stress, sleep, and then comes your skincare routine.
Got it.
Yeah.
Super. So wishing you lots of power to make lakhs of people who come into your clinics regain that confidence, which is much needed. But even more than that, the millions who are following your content on social media, getting them the right education and awareness, and busting all the myths that float around in the name of beauty treatments.
Yeah.
So lots of power to you, and I'm really going away from this conversation very inspired, not just by your depth of knowledge, but your humility and your willingness to go the extra mile to help people just feel better. And I think it's been a super fun conversation. Thank you so much for your time.
So kudos to you. Very, very inspiring you are. Women like you set the path for all of us also to believe that, yes, we can do something, stepping out of our comfort zone, and just by being consistent and having that grit, we can all achieve wonders in our life. It doesn't have to be that you're a big entrepreneur. It is even in smaller aspects of your life. Like if you want to have a healthy, happy home, also requires consistent efforts to keep it clean. So it's that consistency in every aspect of your life that's going to help you, of course, in your entrepreneurship also.
Love it. Awesome. I think next podcast or channel on Instagram you should start is going to be a motivation channel. Yeah, I think it's going to be been super fun. And thank you so much for watching or for listening. And अगर आपको ये episode पसंद आया तो आपको वही करना है जो हर podcaster आपसे कराता है, which is you have to hit like, subscribe and also a comment so that हमें समझ आए कि आपको क्या पसंद आ रहा है, क्या नहीं पसंद आ रहा है. And if you want us to bring someone on this podcast, any guest that you have in mind or any question that's remained unanswered, please put them in the comments below. I read every single comment down below. So until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and keep building the life that you love, just like I'm doing.